0526-02.
Next case.
State versus Troy Mishler. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Andrea Crespo for the state.
Sam Locke and Ms. Carissa Chilkowski for Mr. Mishler. Ready for
Ooh,
sentencing.
sentencing. That's a big dude.
And are you Mr. Mishler?
No.
Thank you for addressing appropriately for court, but you always do. All right. On this case, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any objections to the PSI report from either side?
I wouldn't call it an objection, Your Honor, but there has been a discussion about one of the lines where it said in the original PSR that was provided to the court, where it checks defendant accepts responsibility. He's pled guilty. That box was checked.
Mhm.
There was an addition made to it in court that said that Mr. Mishler declined to discuss the case. But when Mr. Mishler went to his interview, he did provide the PSR writer with a statement accepting responsibility. I've provided it to probation. I've provided it to the state, and with the court's permission, I've provided it to the court.
All right. Any objections to the court reviewing it?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah, I know what the Michelin Man
Thank
is.
you.
Your Honor, I have an additional matter.
Yes.
There was a sentencing memorandum filed in this case about 5 days ago. After discussions with the state, we are withdrawing that document, that filing, and asking the court to sentence Mr. Mishler based on
Oh, his
PSR
actual- his-
reviewed by the court.
All right.
His
and for the record, the
actual
court has
name is
not
Mr.
reviewed that,
Michelin.
And the court does not review anything until everyone else has reviewed it and have no objections to the review.
I think there was a discussion as well as you. The court had asked us about a letter that the court received. We would also like you not to consider that.
All right. And the court has set that aside, and the court is not considering, nor has the court viewed it.
Thank you.
All right. So you entered a plea, and according to the plea, the state was proceeding on counts 1 and counts 10. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at a cap of 30 years in the prison. There's a $5,000 fine, and there's no application. So the range of punishment in this case for you, based upon the plea agreement, is anywhere from 5 to 30 years. State, since neither party has any witnesses.
So, Your Honor, actually, so count 1 is a range from 5 to 99 years. However, count 10 is a range from 15 to 99.
You're correct.
On that one.
All
We're going to reserve our argument for after defense, Your Honor. We have no.
All right.
We have just argument, Your Honor.
Yes, you may proceed.
Mr. Mishler stands before you a broken man. He stands before you accepting responsibility for what he has done and the crime that he has committed. After reviewing the pre-sentence report and the police report in this case, Your Honor, you can see that he is ready to go to prison today for a significant amount of time. We'd ask the court to sentence Mr. Mishler to 15 years in the penitentiary. He is ready to go today. He accepts that. He accepts the court's judgment. And it's been a long road to get to this point, Your Honor. And
What did he do?
15-year sentence would serve the ends of justice in this case.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, I have a little bit of an argument. So the state, Your Honor, is asking for the judge to sentence him to the maximum 30 years, Your Honor. This is a case involving a large hundreds, over 500 images of child pornography, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, life. Send him away for the rest of it. Oh, yeah. Off you fucks. Off you fuck. Life. Not even 30 years. Off you fuck. 30 years? He will be maybe in his 60s, 70s. He seems to be a guy in his 30s. Life. But if the max is 30, all right, let's go with max. Over 500 images. Yeah, off you fuck. Off you fuck, you deranged person. Off you fuck. All right. That took care of the monetization of this stream, I guess. Oh, all right.
These are videos. These are videos depicting the repeated sexual assault of children ranging from the ages of 18 and many of them ranging under the ages of 10 years old as well, Your Honor.
Death penalty. Under the age of 10, you sick fuck? Did he take the pics or just have them? I don't know. I'm learning this as you learn this. I had no idea about this case before this moment. Oh, thank you, Lady Tommy. Demonetization fund. Thank you so much. CS Tears, why don't we find? Well, hopefully, by finding this person, they can identify the victims in the videos and the perpetrators. That's my hope. Yeah, he can't be. Folks, there are studies, extensive studies from multiple countries that when it comes to rehabilitation of offenders, there's a range. Or in one end, you have maybe the shoplifters. They can be rehabilitated easily. Even murderers can be, to some extent, rehabilitated. Child SA offenders are the ones that are basically impossible to rehabilitate. And yet, the penalties, now, good on Texas for having 5 to life, 15 to life, whatevers. Do I really want to Google this? But I do believe the maximum for CP in Sweden is like 8 years. Usually they get half of that. And then they are out after 2/3. And then they reoffend. And it's offensive. Thank you to Unfit for Normalcy, who became a member. Thank you so much. That is so nice of you. You now have access to hundreds of hours of members-only content on my YouTube channel. You also have your own emojis on YouTube. Thank you so much. But yeah, and sadly, it's not unusual with these low penalties for offenders of his type. And I don't know why. I'm covering one case of, the Aaron Spencer case where Michael Fossler, who is now deceased due to Aaron Spencer. Thank you so much, Aaron Spencer. You protected your daughter, in my opinion. We know that Michael Fossler had his first victim in the 1980s. And all of a sudden he shows up 45 years later. In this case, a full-blown groomer and rapist. These people do not take breaks. So Michael Fossler, for 45, 50 years, has been a child rapist, in my opinion. And people knew it. He was a former law enforcement officer in Hamlet, Indiana. This guy was known for harassing middle schoolers and high schoolers. But he was a cop, protected. But then, who protected him for the rest of the 40 years? He owned a trucking company. How many cases along his routes are because of him? Why isn't his DNA sent all over the United States? Connect this motherfucker. So yeah, these people don't get rehabilitated. So for me, 500 videos, kids under 10, life. Send him. I don't care how broken he claims he is. Life, in my opinion.
Mr. Mishler admitted to having these child pornography images and videos, Your Honor, some of them of which are series of the same child in different videos being assaulted, Your Honor. The state's asking for the maximum, Your Honor. If the court has the police reports as well, Mr. Mishler indicated that he got aroused by his 2 adopted daughters as well, Your Honor.
Oh, for fuck's sake! This just gets worse. Please, for the love of the Lord, please say his adopted daughters are okay. Please say they are okay.
Aroused when they sit on him, when they're bouncing up and down on him, when he's tickling them, Your Honor. This is an individual who had these images not only on his personal computers at home, but had these images on him at a university campus as well on his work computer, Your Honor.
He worked at a
This
university?
is a person who fostered children of ages similar to some of the ages in the videos that he had, Your Honor. And so we're asking that the court consider all of that and sentence him to the maximum 30 years prison, Your Honor.
All right, and this is what the court will do. Mr. Mitchell, I want you to know that I listened to arguments from both sides. I reviewed the PSI. I reviewed the evidence that was submitted, and I internalized everything. So I do appreciate the fact that you have accepted responsibility for your actions. That's usually the first step, right? All right, so this is what the court is going to do. Counts 1 and counts 10 are to run concurrently. There's to be no contact with minors. You are not allowed to reside in any household with minors. There's a $5,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrently, and the court will sentence you to 30 years in counts 1 and counts 10. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorneys? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission.
He was sentenced to 30 years on count 1 and 2. Concurrent. Yeah, so 30 years. Yeah, I agree with MD Law here. If the sentence is 5 to 99 and 15 to 99, I don't give a flaming fuck about plea agreements. That's 99 consecutively. Not good enough, Judge Boyd. Not good enough. I'm disappointed in you, Judge Boyd. I'm really disappointed in you. This man is a constant danger to any child in his vicinity. In 30 years, I have no idea how old. He looks to be in his mid-30s, maybe early 40s. Yeah, but even as late 60s, early 70s man, he will be a danger to children. This is not good enough. Yeah, I agree with David. The only reason this guy pled was because he knew he was cooked He was risking life in prison. This was the only way for him to not get life in prison. Yeah, and he won't spend 30 years in there. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. Judge Boyd, you do not have to accept this plea deal. And prosecutor, why do you keep giving these assholes plea deals? These are the people who need to go to trial and answer in front of a jury for his crimes. And then be sent away for the rest of his life. I'm so disappointed in the justice system. You have the legislators' approval of sending these monsters away from life. Then send these monsters away from life. For life. Lady Time, I love how Nick pronounces the letter J. Yeah, I know. Fire Red Podcast. Cases like this is why I cannot disagree with Gosney on the death penalty. I'm against the death penalty on principle because there are simply too many people who are actually executed and then later exonerated. The only way to get rid of that is to not have the death penalty. Life in prison is equally a punishment, in my opinion. Because at least with life in prison, an innocent person has, up until the moment of his death, has the chance, if innocent, to show their innocence. That is. But then again, I know there are absolutely ruthless people out there. You have the Ed Gaines of the world. And I don't object as heavily against the death penalty in those cases. But I'm seeing it the other end. I don't care if the Ed Gaines of the world are being sent off for life in prison. What I do care is the people who are sent away for life and to death on shit evidence. And go into the Innocence Project and look at how many people who have been exonerated because of bad prosecutors, bad evidence, horrible judges. So I see it from that. That guy, life in prison. Yeah, but why did you? First of all, I think it's horrible for a prosecutor to give the plea deals to these monsters. And the final person is the judge. You don't have to accept this. What the prosecutor and the judge is doing is giving this monster a chance to come out in society again in 20 odd years and keep doing what he's done. He will not change. He will not change. 500 videos of CP. Kids under the age of 10 being SA'd. He acknowledged that he gets aroused by his adoptive daughters. There's no reason why he should be even close to allowed to be back in society. I'm disappointed. Every time I hear of these shit sentencings and plea deals for people like that one, it's offensive. Because in 20 years, if I'm still around, which I hope, I might still cover trials in 20 years, who knows? And maybe I will see that monster again. Oh, you were sent away for 30 years. You were let out after 20, and now you did again. Now we are sending you off for the rest of your life. Well, too fucking late. You had the chance here and now to send him away for life, and you didn't. Yeah, robbery with a weapon gets 50 years in Texas, and this monster can be out in 20. This is offensive. I don't like this.
Permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. So here's the thing. I know sometimes people will say, it's just a video, but the video is of people, and it's of people and of children being abused. And so to watch that is a form of abuse. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Your
Thank you,
Honor,
counsel.
I
No,
just-
he-
so it's on the
he-
record. We need
He does not care. All he wants to do is get a lighter sentence than life so he can get back out and do it again. Judge Boyd, by all your years on the bench, you have probably seen monsters like him come back to court. After being released and doing it all over again.
Chapter 262 compliance as well, Your Honor.
All right, so according to this, and the reason why I didn't issue it, because usually you all will include that in the plea bargain agreements. So do you understand? I'm sorry, Mr. Mishler, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Okay, well, do you understand you? I'm going to take testimony from you, and it's just with regards to the Chapter 62 registration, right? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you understand
He
that this is
does
an
not
offense that
care.
require you to register
I do.
as a sex offender?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And knowing that that wasn't a part of your plea bargain agreement, I'm sure your attorneys may have discussed that with you, but do you understand by entering into this plea or having entered into this plea, you are going to have to register?
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing that, do you still wish to go forward with the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then the court will enter an order requiring Chapter 62 registration. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
May I be
you.
excused?
Yes.
Yeah, swearing in means nothing to him. I agree, David. Oh, I wrong call, Judge Boyd. Wrong call.